Hello again. This next chapter is going to come from Feeding the Wolf Within: How to Recreate Your Life Using Ancient Tools That Go Beyond Shamanism. So this is my very first book that I published. Let's see what chapter we're going to fall in. Okay, well, I scrolled through the book really quickly, and what we stopped on was the personal clearing technique. Now, there is a lead up to this, so you'll have to read the book to understand it. This is simply the technique. Well, there's a small explanation. So here we go. Personal clearing technique. This technique was developed by me over many years of trial and error. I've learned many ways of doing clearings. Some believe that another human has to do it for you. Some believe that you call your guides and helpers or other sources to do the clearings. I had an experience that showed me that sometimes even your guides and helpers are not of the highest light. I was working with a young woman who wanted to meet her guides and helpers. And when they presented, one of them was what some would call questionable. It was snake-like, but more demonic. I work with snake medicine, and I don't consider it dark energy. This had a very dark feel to it. It was connected to her in a way that didn't feel healthy, as if it were feeding off her energy. I asked her if she felt comfortable with this energy, or if we could destroy that alignment and release it. She didn't want to. She said she wanted to keep that one. No judgment. All things serve a purpose. I've known her for a very long time, and in that time, she's shown some very dark tendencies. Yet, who is to say that this is not her agreement? Sometimes we require those who are dark to trigger us to claim our own empowerment, make us remember the light, or remember and release a past agreement for ourselves. Everyone and everything serves a purpose. So back to the technique. Over time, I've been shown many techniques for removing energy, spirits, and clearing fields. When this began, I, like many others, was taught that I had to do the work, meaning that I would get right in there and pull energy and spirits out and send them to the light. Many who do that find themselves sick or taken over by dark spirits. It's very dangerous work, and honestly, not very smart. Have you ever seen those movies on exorcism where the priest gets taken over by the demon? Yeah, just keep that one on your radar. Sometimes you learn from others' mistakes. We are humans. We exist in a dense, third-dimensional body right now. Yes, we are light. We are ultimately light energy. Currently, I'm speaking to those that are in a dense, third-dimensional body. We are not presently of the same energetic frequency as a spirit, whether a ghost, entity, or demon. So we can't safely get in that energy. Does that make any sense? After doing the removal work for some 20 years, I learned that valuable lesson. I also learned that we don't always know what is right for every situation, and to say that would be an ego. Ego can get you hurt. I've always known that I'm protected. We're all protected, yet some allow darkness in for one reason or another. And because of my belief in the protection, I have in the past put myself in some questionable situations in an attempt to rescue others who weren't aware of are diligent in protecting themselves from dark entities. One particular situation happened during a course that I was instructing. When you carry light in this way that I do, the dark ones react to you. I know when someone's carrying a dark energy because they will normally walk a wide circle around me. Here I am, all love and giggles, and they don't want to have anything to do with me. It took me a minute to figure that one out. So when you're being your authentic self of love, acceptance, and compassion, and someone doesn't receive that, please don't question yourself. Simply acknowledge that your light is on, say thank you, and move along. Now, when that occurs, I say thank you, that I am being a beacon and doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I got distracted again. I asked her if I could remove that energy, and she agreed. And as I was praying and doing that, one of the participants said my face was distorting. And I could feel it. I could feel my face distorting, yet I was immersed in the energy fields and the work. And thank goodness that she alerted me and I could ask for assistance from my team. All that to say, I learned a valuable lesson that day, and I truly believe that all things, experiences, happen for a reason. I learned that my third dimensional body cannot hold that dark energy, and my job is to simply be the facilitator, not the doer. Have you ever had similar experiences? The result was that to be smart and safe, from that day, I would call beings who aren't in a third dimensional dense body. My practice now is to call the highest light being available when a deep dive removal is necessary. For cutting cords, that's different. Who better to cut cords, remove, and return energy than Archangel Michael? In other words, while I may facilitate the work, don't do the work. This is the technique that I trust completely in any situation except demons. Everything is energy. Everything has a soul. Everything is part of the one. The only caveat is that this technique will not work to remove a spirit or discarnate if you have a contract or agreement with it. That work can, however, be done in the Hall of Records, and that information has a chapter in this book. As a matter of practice, I perform this removal on myself on a regular basis, especially before I go to sleep or do any healing work for others. We bring in objects to our home every day that have others' DNA or energetic imprints on them. Our pets bring in the same. When birds, insects, or animals cross our property, the same happens. They drop bits of energy and DNA that have energetic imprints on them. Sometimes we pick up what was brought in by others. I often use a pendulum just for visual confirmation or clarification when I'm finished, i.e., asking the pendulum if I am clear or if there is more work that needs to be done. You may want to burn sage, cedar, palo santo. You may want to burn candles, although it's not necessary. Do what makes you comfortable. I have done this clearing in public places and private places. It's the intention that works. You'll find this experience in the experience section of the book. You can simply read the following statement with the intention of clearing yourself. It is the intention that works. Or by simply reading the words written here, the work is done for you. So let's do a clearing. Archangel Michael, please place your column of white light and protection around me now. Please remove, release by the roots, and return to the sender with consciousness all cords, siphons, hooks, and negative implants. Please remove, release any curses, hexes, magic, witchcraft, spell work, or bindings, and send them to God's light for healing. I now ask the light curtain to be open above me. I call to the highest light being available to come now and remove any spirit attachments, entity attachments, discarnates, wanderers, ghosts, hauntings, controllers, or energetic imprints, and take them to God's light for healing. Thank you. This, for the most part, is the only time that I use a pendulum. When I'm performing this, my pendulum will begin to swing in a circle. Yours may move in any number of directions. When the removal is complete, my pendulum stops, and I ask if it's complete and if there is anything else that needs to be done. There are times when it has to be altered for specific circumstances. Some will question, why send hooks, cords, etc. back to the sender? That's a good question. When I asked them, I was reminded that we as emotional beings reach out to one another every day, all day. Some of the reaching is good, some not so good. Those are called cords. Some are hooks. Cords are sent to connect, created from love, admiration, need, and sometimes control. Hooks are created to hook you in and are used as energy feeders, controllers, manipulators of your emotions and energy. Siphons are, well, self-explanatory, really. Siphons are used to steal information and energy. Negative implants can be negative thought implants to make you ill mentally, emotionally, and physically. Yes, dark magic. When one sends energy, they use their own, correct? We call them energy splinters. In other words, when someone sends cords, hooks, or others, they're using their energy, and so their energy has splintered off. In intending to return, you are in essence returning their splintered energy to them. I see it as a service of compassion, not as an act of harm. As a final note, this is the basic technique and is highly effective for most situations. It clears the current energetic blockages. More detailed, such as soul life, cultural family, or genetic removals, are more detailed and can only be shared through proper personal training. In other words, it's not something you learn by reading instructions. There are too many things that can make up the one to discuss here and now. Contact me if you're interested in taking this training further. So that was the chapter. But as a note, as things, energy never stops moving, and neither does knowledge, awareness, and information. And so that book was written, I believe, in 2021, and that's 5 years ago. And since that time, through different experiences, I've learned an expanded version of that technique. And I encourage you, that is the basic template. But as humans evolve, so does the dark ones. and allow that, if you decide to use that tool, allow it to expand for you as well. And if you want an upgraded version, connect with me, book a session, and I will take you through the updated version and any expansions of that you may consider using. I look forward to seeing you next time.